Stillness is not something that we do well in the United States. It's a societal issue. Some countries do a lot better with it. Some countries even have siestas built into their day. Like, I would love to have a nap every day. Oh, wait, I do. I do take a nap every day. We don't do stillness in the United States. We just don't do it. We avoid it at all costs. We associate stillness with laziness. And that's because hustle culture has kind of tied our value to how productive we are. And you can thank the American dream for that one. You know, all you need to get ahead in life is to work really, really hard. You can have anything you want. If you guys haven't realized, the American dream is a myth, and that's for consumerism. The American myth has been brainwashing people into choosing work over their life, and work-life balance shouldn't be a choice. It should be a given. You shouldn't have to make that sacrifice to get ahead in the world. And making that sacrifice doesn't even get you ahead. We rise and grind and hustle hard. We eat lunch at our desk. We stay late. We answer emails all evening. We stay up super late trying to cram a little bit of personal time in before bedtime. We actually pride ourselves on no sick days in 10 years. No sick days in 10 years? You get sick. That's not because you're not sick. That's because you don't respect other people or yourself. Take a sick day. It's good for you, I promise. Prior to this pandemic, when is the last time that you sat still like this? How do you feel sitting still right now? Do you like it? Is it uncomfortable? Is it fun? It's kind of meh for me. You know, I feel kind of like a blob, honestly. And that's because I'm not being productive. And I keep guilting myself into feeling bad about that. But this isn't a staycation. This is a pandemic. Like, we need to be feeling these uncomfortable feelings. Like, this is a very serious time right now. And by resisting those emotions, what you resist persists. I will say it 1,000,000 times, guys. You have to accept it. You have to deal with it. I'm struggling with this too. This isn't something that just comes naturally. Like, this is hard, especially when we live in a culture that does not allow for stillness. How many of you are struggling with anxiety right now? How many of you are struggling with addiction and relapse and cravings? How many of you feel guilty about not being productive? Well, you're in luck because I have an answer. Be still. Stillness. Now, you have two options when it comes to stillness. You could either let your mind wander, or you could be very intentional with your thoughts. Both are good for you. Both will have lots of benefits. It just kind of depends what you want to accomplish at the end of it. Letting your mind wander sounds easy, but most of us don't do it. Technology gets in the way. We can't sit still and let ourselves actually get bored because the moment we feel that inkling of boredom creeping in, we grab our phones. The moment the mood shifts in the room and things start to get a little tense, we grab our phones. The moment you feel those uncomfortable emotions, we grab our phones. We don't like to deal with that stuff, and we have this nice little hit of dopamine that we can just get by absentmindedly scrolling. Why not? Like, it makes sense. How many of you used to be avid readers when you were younger, but now you just can't really get into books as much? It's a little harder. It takes some time if you can get into it. That's because we don't find that as rewarding as scrolling on our phones. We need a little bit of a digital detox. I think some people call it a dopamine detox, actually. And I have been doing this. I leave my phone. I forget my phone, actually. I don't just leave it. I set it down somewhere, and then I don't know where it's at. And then whenever I forget it, I'm like, oh, I lost it. I guess I'm just not going to grab it for a while. It's usually in like one of two places, but I always just let it go. There's not many people that need to get a hold of me that can't get a hold of Greg, that can't call my phone twice if it's on Do Not Disturb, which it usually is. On the other side of that discomfort you're feeling from boredom lies creativity. Boredom fosters creativity because it allows for abstract thinking. You can take two unrelated ideas or thoughts or emotions or feelings or whatever and combine them together. You can ask yourself questions and wonder. Use your critical thinking skills. Daydream. And on the opposite side of daydreaming lies mindfulness. You guys knew I was going there anyway. Mindfulness is being intentional with your thoughts instead of letting your mind wander. You're very intentional about what you think about and what you feel. Not all thoughts are created equal. That's very important for you to remember. Just because you think something and the emotion hits you doesn't mean that you have to identify with it. And mindfulness serves as that pause necessary between you and impulsivity. Mindfulness is the stop sign at the intersection between Reality Boulevard and Crazy Lane. Do not turn left down crazy lane. We've all been down there. We know who lives down there. Anxiety, scarcity, fear, irrational thoughts. We don't want to go there. Don't turn left. They're not your friends, I promise. A key feature of mindfulness is to not judge yourself. Don't judge your thoughts or your emotions. You can't help what you think and feel. It's not really something you can control. And mindfulness isn't really about controlling your thoughts and emotions. It's about not letting your thoughts and emotions control you. Mindfulness is very simple, and it doesn't have to be meditation. It could just be consciously focusing on one thing. You can sit down and watch a candle flicker. Set a timer for 2 minutes. You would be surprised at how often your mind will wander in 2 minutes. And every time you notice your mind wandering, you just bring it back. And that's it. That's a mindfulness. And it really helps you become aware of your feelings and emotions, and it helps you learn how to pause. Because we act on autopilot so much. And we miss out on so much. We don't let ourselves feel so much. We don't let ourselves sit still. So I'm going to challenge you to sit still. Be still this week. You can choose boredom or mindfulness, whichever you prefer, but just be still. Stop being human doings and start being human beings. And being still, get it? Get it? Human beings being still. I think that's way too funny. Okay. I have been practicing boredom, I guess. Is that what I want to say? I don't know. I've been trying to let myself get bored. I've been trying to get my creative juices flowing. And I haven't wanted to make YouTube videos. I'll be quite honest, I haven't. I don't really know why. I think it's everything going on, It just doesn't feel like a time for YouTube for me. So I wanted to let you know about the other things I've been doing. I have a website now that is basically up and running, and it's going to have a forum for women on it. I want to allow us to communicate maybe after videos or just in general. You can join it now if you'd like. It's just meganf.com. And I am sorry, guys, it's females only. Same as my Facebook group. That's just who I like to help. I just know the value of a female friend, and I know the value of a female friend that understands you. That is so critical to your recovery, it's not even funny. And it doesn't have to be a recovery from addiction, it could be recovery from codependency too. Those are two things I'm very, very familiar with. I still have that mindfulness program thing coming up. I don't really know what it is. It's like I know what it is. It's going to be called Bloom Where You're Planted, and it's just going to teach you about mindfulness and give you a couple exercises. I don't know if it's gonna be like a workshop? Yeah, workshop, webinar, whatever. I don't know. I don't know all those things, but I'm figuring it out. So if you'd like to find me on my website, please do. Please join. I would love that. And it's gonna be our creative space, so I'm excited. But that's all I have for today, guys. I love you. Be weird, be kind. Bye. Boredom fosters abstract. Boredom fast.